As we continue our discussion on backyard pecan production, we welcome back Dr. Jackie Lee, Extension Entomologist. And today we're going to talk about sanitation, which is a really important part of an IPM program for pecans or any plant material in the backyard, and easy to apply as well.
It really is. It's one of the simplest methods of insect control. It's cheap, and then also it's very environmentally friendly.
All right. So when it comes to sanitation, what are the major pests that we're dealing with?
Well, there's mainly two different types of pests that we deal with. The hickory shuckworm, which is a moth that lays its eggs on the pecan shuck. So when that egg hatches, the larvae bores into the shuck, feeds within that shuck, and the pecan will fall to the ground.
And you have an example for us to look at?
I sure do.
All right, and so these are, aborted, basically, pecans that fell down, right?
Right, and a lot of times when you see these pecans, they'll have a black staining on the shuck, and if you open them up, you would find this black, what we call insect frass. And then sometimes you can also find the larvae, in which we found one right there.
All right.
So
by collecting these and destroying them, we're preventing the larvae from
overwintering. That's right. They like to pupate in these old shucks that just collect on the ground. So if we get rid of these old shucks, we actually decrease the numbers for the next year.
And they have a few generations throughout the year. So
yeah, 3 to 4 in Oklahoma.
So whenever we see those pecans drop, probably midsummer, we want to start collecting those because that's going to be producing the next generation.
Yes, Kim, yes.
Okay. Now something many of us are familiar with are the twig girdlers, and from an ornamental standpoint, I always tell homeowners it's not a big deal, they're not going to kill the tree, but if you're trying to produce a crop, we might have a different attitude towards them, right?
Right, right. Twig girdlers are really interesting because they lay their eggs right beneath the bark. So right now there's a little larvae in here that'll feed on this dead wood. Now these limbs will fall to the ground and the larvae will overwinter in this twig. So if we get rid of these twigs that are falling on the ground or prune them out of the trees, then we'll decrease our population in the pest problem.
And you can really tell a twig that's been fed, that has a twig girdler. I mean, there's an obvious chew mark there that it's been eaten around versus something that's just snapped. So
right.
It's real easy to tell the difference between something that's infested and just storm damage, for example.
Right.
Are there any other insect pests that we need to think about?
Really, twig girdler and hickory shuckworm are the two pecan pests that you can really control with sanitation methods. The other ones, you really need to use some other control tactics.
Okay, and then of course, just like any plant, if there's diseased foliage that falls to the ground, we want to collect that and get rid of that as well.
That's right. That's right. If you get rid of the diseased foliage and twigs, you can really cut down on your disease issues in the following growing season.
All right. Well, thank you so much.